Let's start the CPU at thermal pass. Take out its USB control. And let's get on the tightening. Oh, I've got to make sure not to put my arm in the way. One thermal, that's one screw. One thumb screw. Two thumb screw. It doesn't really matter if it comes off in an X pattern. Generally because it's going to come off anyway. So, no a bigger deal. It's only when tightening back up is it going to need to go in an X pattern. Meg is using one hand. Yeah, I'm trying to keep out the way of the camera. It's just a little bit hard at the moment. That's four of them. So, little bit of and off it comes. Oops. I forgot I put the cable around that. Settle this. There we go. That'll do. And as we can see it's a CPU. That's the thermal paste. And I'll be using ArtiClean thermal paste, thermal material remover pretty much. I don't know whether that's you can use isopropyl alcohol, but I haven't got any of that at the moment. It was just a little bit hard to get a hold of at the moment because last time I ordered it only needs a few splodges. Get a lint-free cloth. Let me just show. Get a cloth, lint-free. You don't want to use anything like kitchen roll, other towels like that because fibers will make. How to use my CD tray as a cup holder. Well, if you do that, then I'm not going to help you because that's just sacrilege. Yes. Don't use kitchen roll or anything that gives off that leaves fibers behind. So good. This is thick thermal paste. This one. Oh, that is so thick. Yes, it's coming off. I have to do a second splooge. Need to do a second lot. That was actually a pretty good application of thermal paste last time I did, so it wasn't too much, it went too little. What I do as well is I put a little bit of thermal paste cleaner on the cloth. Seems to help out a bit. But yes, once you start doing this, get all the thermal paste that you can off. Make it all nice and clean. I know it's a little bit over here. Oops. As much as I can. Like a little bit got trapped at the side here, but that's okay. That's okay. Oops. A little bit got put back on. Doodles. A little bit here. Go. Okay, circular motion. Get all the thermal paste you can. And there we go. We got a clean CPU. And now we need to clean I don't know if you can see that. Oh, yeah, you can. You need to clean that off. So, yeah. New cloth anyway. Or what I do, turn it inside out. Because this one shouldn't be nearly as bad. So, yeah, we'll get some of our thermal paste remover. Sorry, I'm going to be in the way here. Leave that for a couple of seconds. It emulsifies the CPU thermal paste. Because it will basically start to turn it into a liquid rather than a very thick. Oh, there we go. That was a good bit. Put that there. I think I'm going to need a new cloth because that was a lot of thermal paste. Whew. That was a lot of the thermal paste. Bit more paste remover. And circle it off. And there we go. Nice shiny copper base. Or aluminium base, whichever one you have. Depending on your price point. Yep, that should. I might go over it just a little bit more. Just to make sure. Just to make sure everything is nice and clean. A good old little wipe. Some paste remover on the cloth. Yep, that's all that taken off. Alright, need a new cloth. I'm just going to leave that to basically dry off just for a couple of moments. Make sure it's all dry. But yes, basically, first of all, Tia, if you're going to be watching this, you got 4 bolts here. Got 4 bolts, and just gotta take them off. You'll have screws. I think yours is 1151 socket, I think. I'm not entirely sure, but you'll have 4 screws. Just unscrew them all. Make sure with the backing plate of that one, it doesn't lose it, because the screws go straight into the backing point. I don't know whether it's going to be, some are double-sided taped on, some aren't, and it might come a bit loose. We'll just have to see on that one, but yeah. Need to take it all off. Wangle the... You won't have one of these, but you'll have the heatsink. Just, twist it. Give it a gentle twist. A little bit of fiddling about. It'll come off easy enough. Then, either one, you can either do the CPU cooler first, or you can do the CPU neck, or CPU second. Doesn't matter which one. Clean them off. And then we're at this point at the moment. Alright. I think that's been enough. Of the drying. So now what we got is the thermal surface purifier. Whether this does anything, I'm not entirely sure. It just seems a little bit weird, but guys seem to know what they're doing. So I put a little drab, don't need a lot. I guess it's just to clean off anything from the thermal paste remover. A little clean, little clean, little clean. Because there shouldn't be anything on your cloth. There we go. Should come up. Your cloth should come up completely clean. It should. If it doesn't, you might need to go back and do the thermal paste remover again. Yes, we're going to do the same for the CP. We're going to do for the pump. The couple of drops. Don't need much. Around you go. And should be pretty much nothing left on the cloth. Might look a little bit damp, but that should be fine. Yep, there we go. I'll just leave that just for the moment. Leave it to dry again. You don't have to, but I do it anyway because it just seems like the right thing to do. And what we have today is we have the thermal paste, which is, I'm just waiting for it to come up on the screen. I can't tell if it's going to be in shot. We got the thermal, we got Cooler Masters Master Gel Maker, which is my preferred brand of thermal paste. Yours might vary, but this one's generally kept me going for. This one's done me well for all the number of years I've been doing this. So for this, there's two different methods. You can do a big old P, or you can do a line. Doesn't matter which. Now we can apply the thermal paste. That should be more than enough to do the CPU. But that should be more than enough. I add just a wee bit more, just in case. There we go. Just a wee bit. More than enough to cover CPU. Now, where's this gotten stuck? There we go. In. There we go. And now we can back on. Good. Yep, it's all back on top. Now what we do is we put on one just to get them started. Not going to tighten them down yet. Okay, just want to get them. Move that out the way. This one I hate doing at the bottom here because it's where the CPU cooler pipes are, and it's very annoying. Very annoying. This one goes on here. Get onto the screw. There we go. And then tighten down in the next pattern. So we're going to do the top left. About that kind of tightness. You have to start really putting force on. Okay, because you don't want to over tighten these things because it can break the bolts, and if you do that you're kind of stuffed because then you've got to buy new bolts. Some manufacturers do give you extra ones, some don't. I can't remember if I did with this board. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. 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 There we go. And all I got to do now is put the USB back in, which if you are using certain air coolers you won't have to do. And we are done. That's a complete thermal paste removal, replacement, put back, whatever you want to call it. And it's just that easy, pretty much. It does not take particularly that long to do. It takes maybe a 5 to 10 minute job. Even for newbies, it does not take particularly that long. Yes, that's a complete another thing. I think I added a little bit too much thermal paste, but I can check that another day. A little bit too much. It's going to squidge out a little bit, which is the reason why you want to use a very good thermal paste that's non-conductive. So if it does squidge out a little bit, it's not going to matter. It's not going to cause things to short circuit. It's not going to bridge connections. It's not going to brick your board or anything. So always make sure to get good thermal paste. Don't cheap out on it. This stuff in this tube was about £7. This is probably good for about 4 to 5 applications generally, I find. Depending on your CPU size, because some CPUs are bigger than others, and but for a normal Intel desktop or even a AMD Ryzen, anything like that, about 4 to 5 applications per tube. Yes, that's the CPU done. Let me get the next part sorted. And what we have today for you folks is to put in the replacement CPU, GPU, not CPU, GPU, as you can see. Can I move it over just slightly? Yes, we're putting in the replacement GPU after the fans on the old one started to cause a little bit of coil whine. So I basically got in contact with Nvidia. They sent out a replacement pretty damn quick within a week. So good going on Nvidia on that point. So we're just gonna slot this in, and generally you'll want to put it in the top slot, which is usually your 16 slot. There is a second one here, as you can see in the metal. Check your pipes out of the way. Check your motherboard specifications. Yep, there we go. Now you want to go in, then you want to hear a click. You'll hear an audible click. You don't hear the click, it's not gone in properly. It may power on, it might show up the lights here, but it will not give you any kind of picture. So make sure you hear some kind of audible click, which makes sure that CPU is all locked into place. And that's basically it for that. So once that's in, it's clicked in. What I generally do next, you don't have to do this next. What I do, I always bolt it in before putting the power connectors in. Which ones was it? I've got 2 types of thumb screws here. I'm just making sure which one I used. I think it was the smaller of the 2, when I remember. So we're going to use our little thumb screws. You can't actually see this, but you'll have little thumb screws right at the end. Quite a shame that you can't see that. Okay, I have to fix that another time. Then just screw it in. I might use the other screwdriver for this actually. A Phillips head, flathead might be better for this than a Phillips. Let's get the flathead. Flathead! Ah, there you are! Flathead screwdriver! And you tighten it in. And now all we need to do is you have your PCIe connectors here, which will come in say VGA. You'll have either a 6, an 8. Don't worry if you think you might put them in the wrong way round, because you can't do that. They are made so you can't actually put them in the wrong way. Here's one. I hate doing this at times. Oh, was that the wrong way round? That was the wrong way. I put the one that's meant to go in the left in the right, and the one. No wonder that one. No wonder it didn't look quite right. Yep, there's one. Yours might only have one connector, it might have two, might have an 8-pin, might have a 6-pin, or it might be in this case 2 8-pins, it might be two, it might be an 8 and a 6. Yes, and there's the PCIe connectors put in. Impressive build. Thank you, Malcolm, and hello, Malcolm. This is just basically me just showing rudimentary stuff while we do it, and basically that's it that I had planned out for the building stuff anyway. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the glass cover on. Let's just move that down. And hey, Caesar, hammer with duct tape. Oh God, no! Fuck no! No! If I ever see people do that, I will take their computers away from them. But no! Yes, I'm just gonna put the Be Right Back screen on. And then we are going to do the questions. I do that. Well, I won't be doing that. We just put the Be Right Back on, just for now. And I'll be right with you as soon as I get all sorted. Hello everybody, I'm Lib back. Sorry about that, I just went to go and move things around because I'm in my little office bit, but thank you all for keeping there with me while I went to go and do that quick. And we've got some questions that people wanted. Moment. God damn. Something's turned itself off. Didn't want it to. There we go. Hey Dean, welcome to the stream. But yes, we are going to answer a couple of questions that people wanted answering. I'll see if I can do this in a way that people can see. Let's read that. Thank you, Dean, for the host. In my Google Docs, I think it might be in my Google Docs. Where are they? There we are. Question. And I'll just bring that up for you guys. I just, okay. No, I don't want that one, it's the other one I wanted, wasn't it? There we go. Just a second, folks. I'm just sorting it out. Let me just cut the document to size. There we go. Let me just put that in the middle. Go. I'll transition to this stream. Okay. And back to this. And yes, Gora has a Inception. But yes, Gora has a question. What is a better pick? An RTX 2070 Super or an RTX 2080 Super? What is your recommendation? What is your best recommendation for Cyberpunk 2077 VR and 3D modeling? Like I say, it depends on where your budget stretches to. The 2070 should do completely fine if that's what your budget allows. But the 2080 will give you a little bit more performance. It'll probably do a little bit better with Cyberpunk because I don't think they've actually released the specifications yet for Cyberpunk 2077. So I can't really say what would be best, but the 2080 is the better card, so it's gonna be on your better bet that it's gonna run it better. Maybe in a higher resolution. But my bet would be go to also it might be a little bit better in terms of your 3D modeling. If you do need more productivity than gaming, The Radeon 7 might be good up your street there, because that thing does seem to kick Nvidia's ass when it comes to productivity. But if it is going to be mostly for gaming, I would say go for the 2080. Have a look maybe into something. You can get a reference card if you want, which is what I have. It runs very quiet, runs pretty cool for a reference card. So, or go with one of the third party manufacturers from like Asus, MSI, Gigabyte, any of those kind of companies, which will probably be a little bit more heftier in the cooling than the reference card, but they should do equally as well. And we've got a question from Atlas. I'm looking into changing from a USB interface to a mixer. I've been researching into how to eliminate any potential humming or with isolators and different cable types. I'd be happy to hear if you have anything to go in to say about that. I did actually look into this because this is an area that I don't have a huge amount of expertise in, really, to be honest, because I don't really use a mixer. I don't use a USB interface. Everything goes straight into my USB plugs on my computer. But from what you've been saying on that and what I've kind of found out, it's usually down to a grounding imbalance that causes the hum, and better quality cables are generally going to help as well. So those are probably your better kind of options that I've kind of researched my way into having a look into. That seem to probably will eliminate, you know, anything audio wise, because it seems to be, I looked into like people who did like music, basically, who went to venues which have analog equipment but they're trying to put them through digital speakers, and a lot of times it is they use isolators and many other things to basically eliminate all the humming, which is the electrical the grounding imbalance. These tend to run between anywhere between like 15 to 25 quid, somewhere around about that kind of price range. You should be able to find a pretty decent one, I found. They can be found on Amazon and other kind of musical electrical stores, which will probably be your better bet, really. But yeah, that should get rid of any kind of hum. I do wish you luck on that, and if you do come across any kind of tips for this in your way of doing it, is basically let me know, because I'd like to know a little bit more about this and I could be a little bit more informed next time someone asks me a similar-ish question. But yes. And the last question that I got, at least pre-hand, was from Carl. Carl. That kills people, Carl. Budget gaming part ideas. Ooh. In terms of budget gaming, your best friend is likely going to be used parts on places like eBay and other places. Because I actually did a little bit of sleuthing with this. I might just bring up a web page in a moment. And see if I can show you some of the kind of ideas that I was floating about. Let me just get rid of this. And we'll go and have a look on the eBay as we try and look at, you know, used parts and other things of concerning that matter. Let's just put this over here. This somewhere over here, kind of area. That should do. Because I am having to do this from one screen, so it's a little bit of a tricky one. So let me just Fandangle the where is it? Well, they don't capture that. That's bull. Oh, god damn it! All right, hold on a second, folks. We're gonna go look. Uh. Just a moment, and I will be with you. Just getting set up, cause I didn't initially plan to do this. Let's go to eBay. Look up some parts. Where is it? Okay. Fly, will you fuck the hell off? There we go. Hopefully you can all see that. I hope. I hope. I think you can all about see that. Okay, folks, we're back in business. Let's look up a 1060 6GB, which is generally good for a 1080p kind of rig. Let's see, what can we get in the buy now section? Where is that? Oh, buy it now. Here we go. Let's see, there we go, 140 quid for a GTX 1060 6GB Zotac card. That's not bad, 140 quid. You can get about 150, 150, 140, 120. Holy crap. Okay. But yes, this is kind of where you're going to find yourself probably looking into with kind of budget parts. Is kind of, you know, you got around here, you got 120 quid for Windforce OC. It seems to be kept. This fly is going to drive me nuts in a moment. Let's have a look. Oh, we got other cards and there's nothing else there. Setting this to that's on my PC. Card is set me well. Ultra 60 frames. Yeah, if you do it in 1080, you should be able to get had it for 6 to 8 months, and he's selling for that amount. Damn, you must be trying to get rid of it pretty quick. Yeah, but this is where you're gonna find kind of where you're gonna go for budget, because 120 quid is likely gonna get you something maybe in the 1050 range new, which is not going to serve you as well for gaming, because 2 gigabytes of VRAM doesn't really kind of cut it nowadays. Oops, sorry. Doesn't seem to cut it that much these days, but yes, this is the kind of graphics card you're probably going to be seeing. What can we get from AMD in this kind of? Going to be 570 RX 570, and RX 570s right here. We got one here for buy now for 85 quid. 580 you might be able to find as well. Let's see, what can we get for 580 money? 580 money, even more so, it's around about the same kind of price. Got 130, 150, 100 quid here for SXX. So this is generally where your money is probably going to be, is for this kind of. We've got 120 here for a Sapphire Nitro one. That's only 4 gigabytes though, so not quite as good of a deal. Yeah, you got the armor card. Not the best kind of card from MSI. They are a little bit cheap in the whole cooling process, but you know, as long as you're not trying to push it too hard, you should be incredibly. Oh dear, what the hell? Was this a mining card? Oh dear. This looks like it was a mining card. That might not be a good thing. Yeah, like I say, this one looks like it's from the from a mining rig, because he had so many of them there. But you shouldn't have to mess with the BIOS, really. Drivers you should be able to install yourself. Most crypto miners won't change the BIOS that much, because it does mean that they have a very bad risk of bricking the cards, and that's going to eat into their profit. So just basically download the drivers off NVIDIA. Yeah, most will overclock, because they will go as far as they can in stability. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is just look out, see what the description is. You know, we got another one. We got a Gaming X card. Yeah, a lot of them. Some of them might be done from mining, but since that's a craze that kind of fizzled out pretty damn quick. This one looks like it's being taken care of, because it's still got all the caps at the end. This one looks like it's being taken pretty well care of. The only thing is you can't really tell what cards have been mined with and what haven't. So just use your instincts, use some common sense. You know, look at the description, look at the condition of the card. But generally that's going to be your kind of better bet. Because anything like this is going to cost you near enough another 100 quid anyway. Yeah, 580s are usually around about the 200, 220 kind of mark. Something around about that kind of thing. Oh. Couple of months old, 4 available, 5 available, 4 sold. This one could have been a mining card as well. So a lot of these could be mining cards. That one I don't quite trust. 77 quid, that seems a little. It's like this one as well, 55. I think that's a bid. Yeah, it's a bid anyway. About to say. Unfortunately, there's not really many ways of finding out what was a mining card. As long as they aren't trying to sell huge amounts of them. This one has no selling due to upgrade. Entirely possible. There doesn't seem to be masses like the other ones. It has the box. It seems to be in relatively good condition. But yes, as Malcolm has said, mining cards are something you are going to come across, but it's not much you can do about that. That's the reason why. You just got to do some research, you know, look into the seller. Has he been selling a whole load of cards? If he hasn't really sold a whole load of them, it's very likely that, you know, it might just be someone who's upgrading, who might be selling off parts from a PC that he might be taking apart. But CPUs seem to be the other way around, because when I look at AMD 1700X, they're still pretty expensive, and even when it comes into new. Especially when it comes into new. And CPUs seem to be that complete. I think you get 155, which isn't... Wait, what? What's this? Whoa, that one's coming all the way from Australia? No, thank you. No, thank you. How much is a Intel 80 Intel 8700? We're not gonna go for K. We're gonna go for 8700. If you're in the UK, is there a place called CX? That's not bad if you can get a 2-year warranty on it. Random is a random closer to recommended retail price. If you're gonna buy, I wouldn't trust CX as far as I can throw. If they can offer a warranty, that's not too bad. But if they're basically selling them off near to recommended retail price, you might as well buy new. I'm sorry, but if they're going to near enough recommended retail price, just buy new. Because usually with manufacturers, especially with Nvidia, my card came with a 3-year warranty. Some come with 5, some have come with 4. So if they are sending them off near recommended retail price, you're probably going to be better off buying them new. Yeah, when it comes to buying used parts, you just gotta use your head. Like I say, CPU seem to be one of the worst things you can buy used. Plus 3 years warranty, yeah, right, whatever, dude. But yeah, basically it's going to be the used market where you're going to find most of your, or buy them in bundles. Lots of kind of Amazon and other kind of online retailers will sell motherboards, CPUs, and RAM and coolers all put into one, which usually for a lot of people is going to be the better option I found when it comes to price, because they can bundle it all together for less than retail. Generally going to be your better option. One thing, never skimp out when you're doing a budget build. Never skimp out on the power supply. Don't buy a cheap power supply. Never buy a cheap power supply. Buy a good one, because if that goes whiz bang pop, that can take your whole computer with you, and it's going to cost you even more. So please, 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 always buy good power supplies. Also, when you're on a budget, you know, it's not going to be the prettiest thing in the world, because things like RGB, other lights, other bells and whistles do come at a cost. And you're very unlikely going to get them in more kind of budget area of builds. with the mining craze kind of settled down now, better buy new to it. Yeah, it can do, but like I say, when it comes to graphics cards, it is one of those kind of areas where it can actually be pretty good at buying used. Buying new is always great, and if you're gonna buy new, AMD is your friend. AMD is totally your friend when it comes to buying new, because they are going to be much cheaper than your Intel Nvidia kind of combo. Let's see if we can do a build of something that I would call whew, my voice is going a little bit. Let's go on to Amazon or something and let's do a build. Going to scan actually. Okay, let's price up a build of a new computer that's not gonna break people's budgets. And first point of call is going to be the GPU, and we're going to go AMD. Now we got the brand new 5700s. Don't want to go. I don't think these are going to be particularly that good in price yet. About the 300 mark. Let's not go there yet. Let's go 570, 580, and 590, which are all very similar cards because they're all basically slightly revised versions. So that's a 4 gig, isn't it? Doesn't actually say. Weird. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh wow. That's actually pretty good for a brand new card. Is £133 for a 570. That's actually pretty good for 133 quid. 8GB card. Like I say, it's an armor card, so it is the cheaper end. Looks like it's got HDMI, DVI, and 3 display ports. What kind of connector is it? It's one 8-pin. Okay. Not the prettiest of cards in the world, but performance-wise, it should do most people in 1080p gaming pretty damn well. You got, so anything what's comparable. So 580 in the kind of similar realms of 8GB is going to be around about another 30 odd quid. And 590 seems to be around about the same. So each time you go up about another 30 quid. So let's do a budget. Let's do 133. We got the graphics card. Power supplies. Let me see what power supply it's actually asking for. Specifications. What kind of power supply does it want? It needs a minimum of 450. So let's try something about the 500 mark. So let's go for a power supply. 500 to 580. What we got here? We got a gold one here from Seasonic, reputable brand. 69 quid for a 550 watt modular. I think that's as cheap as we're gonna get. Got a Thermaltake. Yeah, I think that's as good as we're gonna get for a gold. So we'll add the Seasonic. Go for an AMD. Well, let's find out the chip first. CPU AMD. Let's go for. Can we get a first gen Ryzen? How much is a first gen Ryzen? 200 quid. Okay. And you do us anything better, Scan? Anything in the second gen? Okay, they can do slightly better. $2,700. There's no point in paying another what 50? No, 60 quid for an unlock. Because most people are probably not going, and it comes with a CPU cooler, so we'll take a look at that. Motherboard. We want a B board, because there's no point in buying a X board because our CPU does not overclock. So there is no point to that. And looks like they're actually having a good sale on a Gigabyte board here. What we got here? What we got in a? Got a good number of USBs on there. There is no Wi-Fi, so you will have to make sure that Wi-Fi would be there. Let's try and find something with Wi-Fi. I don't think that one doesn't have Wi-Fi either. What else we got? What's this one like? Is this one? No. Nope. I think I might be asking a bit much to try and find something with Wi-Fi enabled. Oh. Is this one? Nope. Hey, by gum, I'm not having good luck here. Nope, there's no point going any higher. Okay, we might have to look into that. Fatality boards are usually pretty good, but no Wi-Fi. It's actually kind of a shame. ASRock, Steel Legend, anything? No, none of these seem to have anything with Wi-Fi, which is a shame. I think this one probably is the only one that might do, but 157, that's a little bit on the nose. But let's go for this nice Gigabyte board. We're getting to like 500 quid. But why are all you people looking at components? Because people have been asked, someone asked about budget build. I was trying to look around for something that, you know, where we're not going to break the bank in a budget build. So we're just building a computer that's, you know, not going to break the bank. That's still going to be good. We already got a power supply. I just know you. I'm not buying any parts. I don't need any parts. But this is basically a question someone asking about, you know, what is a fair budget build for something that's going to do, like, you know, high 1080p gaming. That's not going to be completely breaking the bank. So we got a motherboard. We got a non-overclocking CPU. We got a Radeon 570, which not the best GPU, but it will definitely fill most people's need for frames and graphics. And a Seasonic Gold power supply, which is a decent brand, and I know it's not going to whiz bang pop. We got motherboard. Oh, we need RAM. Now, here's where things get complicated. The higher you go in the speeds, the higher the price of the RAM is going to be. So I'm going to try and look at, the pretty much default of 266. Which isn't the fastest RAM in the world, but we should be able to find some decent deals on RAM that's not overly overreaching. Can we get a 16 gigabyte kit? Oh, we can do. 78 quid. Not bad. Not bad. Those are dummy modules. We don't want that. Don't want that. So 79 quid. We're getting near to 600. Storage. Internal drives. Want a spinning plate of some sort. Let's see what we can get into 2 gigabyte of that, and let's see what we can get in 2 gigabytes as a main spinning plate drive. Actually, that's more than I expected. Internal drives. See what we can get in a 1 gigabyte model. Not bad, 36 quid for a Barracuda drive. It's one terabyte. It's a little bit low, but like I say, budget build. It's something that can also be updated later on. Go for a smaller SSD. We got a Kingston one here for that's 100. I know that's not a lot, 120 odd gig, but you should be able to get Windows on there, no problem, at least. And the last component, at least for a tower, let's try and keep this under 700. Let's go for a case. Go for no window, because that's actually probably gonna window equals more money. Where's something with some high airflow? Ooh, that looks like it's got some high airflow. That meshified at the front? I'm hoping so. That looks like it's got some decent amount of airflow. Not pretty, but it will do. Now, mouse and keyboard, and so £674 is generally what. Let's have a look at the basket. Let's go to checkout. It should show us the basket then. So we got a Cooler Master mid tower without PSU. We don't need the power supply unit anyway. We got 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM at 2666, which, not the fastest RAM, but like I say, it's something that can be easily upgraded later on. It will get you up and started if you do find yourself a little bit more money later on. It's easy to clip in and out. Same with the hard drive. Not a lot of storage, but something that can be easily upgraded. Same for the SSD. The power supply should be something good for a good while. It's 550, a little low, but for a budget build PC, should have enough overhead. Then you got the 8 gigabyte 570, which not the best card in the world, like I say, but should easily give you enough performance to do 1080p gaming at 60 in most applications, as long as you don't try and overstretch the settings up to high and ultra, epic, whatever the hell they put them at. As long as you keep them at a good steady settings, you should be able to get 60 or even above. Then we got the probably that I'm probably overpaying for in terms of CPU. Like I say, it is 8 cores, 16 threads, which will keep you going for a good long while. The CPU that, you know, you can keep going for a while. Hyperthreading will not help you in gaming, but if you plan on streaming with something like this, easily doable. Very easily doable. And we got a B450 board, generally because there is no point over spring out for an X470 board, because it's not an overclockable chip. If you wanted to spring out for an X470 board, that's a bit higher up in the price range. That can easily be done. But as long as you're not going to try and overclock, and I know most people who haven't built their own computers before, if they're first time builders, generally won't overclock. Maybe later on when they start building the second one, they might do. Let's see if we can build one that's got like a screen and keyboard, and let's go into display. Want monitors? I would say a 22-inch should be fine for most people who's starting off. Like I say, we're not going to be able to spend too much, unfortunately. And this one's actually pretty good. It is a TN panel. It's 75 Hz, 1 millisecond timing. Does have HDMI. Does have a display port. It does actually have FreeSync, so it's actually pretty good for the GPU in terms of it. It should help out there. Let's go for keyboards. Mechanical gaming keyboards. You want a mechanical one because it's generally going to be a little bit better. What we got here? Wow. Red switches for 38 quid? I'm actually kind of shocked. I was expecting mechanical feel, not actual red switches. I know not cherry ones. That's not bad. That ain't bad. It's looking for a mouse. Wide gaming mouse. What we got? Oh, yeah, we got some stinkers here. 80. Okay, we got some relatively low DPI mice there. 6000 DPI. I think that's as good as we're going to get from that Gigabyte one. 6000 DPI. Let's see. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but 6000 DPI. You can get double that easily in a lot higher end of mice. $32,200. Not bad for refurbished. That's not bad. Since we are on a budget, we'll go for that. And since we are probably going to be gaming, we're going to want a headset. Where's that one? The Steel series? Okay, let's have a look at this. Steel series. Is that the 110? Yeah. Probably that one then. That's not bad for, let's see what we got here. Oh, 7,200 wired. That's not bad. Okay. I'll take your word for that. And what we will do, I have that mouse. Hey sis, how's you doing? Can I get a caster command for Ghosty, please, Nem? If you want to give one yourself. I don't think we got any other streamers in the thing at the moment. Oh, if you want to give one to Dean as well, because he's been in recently. I know he started streaming as well. Oh no, his bot. Oh, sorry. It looks like bot isn't cooperating. Hey, Chihuahua. Oh. Try SO Nem and then the name, because it might be because this is my old bot on my laptop, which might be the reason why it didn't do it then. But yeah, let's go for some audio. Go for a headset. We're gonna go wired. There we go. Yeah, it's my old one. It's my old bot. Let's try and find some decent, if not Creative Sound Sound Blaster headset for 34 quid. So what do we come out to in the end for a complete it's not complete, is it? Because we haven't got a Windows. Well, we can get a Windows key for about 20 quid anyway. So we're probably in this for about 900 quid in all. For just the PC, we're about 670. So to be honest, that's not bad. If that's pretty much full rig. As long as you don't need to buy chairs, but like I say, if you need to buy a chair, need to buy a desk, you're probably going to be looking around about £1,000. With everything included, you're probably going to look about £1,000. With a half decent chair, a small desk, yeah, about £1,000. I know I could put in a microphone as well for if you're going to do streaming, but that's something that's going to be for you guys. But yeah, this is how I would say if I was going to go for if I had about £1,000 in my pocket and I needed a complete build, this is generally where I would go. This is generally where I would be spending my money on. But if I didn't need like a headset, keyboard and all that stuff, it should be around about the 550, 650, 670 mark. Which is going to be around about kind of thing. Yeah, as Ghost says, a decent headset with an okay mic will work well enough. Yeah. Like I say, a lot of these things can be upgraded over time when you get more money. But as you sign out, let's go through. Let's go back to the checkout. The case can be replaced at any point, easy enough. RAM is incredibly easy. Headset completely easy. Hard drive, SSD completely easy. Mouse, graphics card, CPU motherboard, a little bit more different. Monitor can be completely done. All that kind of stuff. I personally get an AKG. I'm just going by what I can find on thing at the moment. Personally, I'd go for an AKG K72 for about 30 quid. Over. They're quality in any £16 headset, decent mics, dedicated headset. Okay. That's not bad then, if you, no, those are on scan, I don't think. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going by scan because a lot of people are going to try and get their products from the same place because it's just easier when it comes to warranties and replacements. For me, I'll buy anywhere and everywhere because I don't really give a flying fuck. I was able to get a headset for 16 quid, really good. There we go, there's another one, 16 quid, not bad. I have a SteelSeries headset, sounds good as my sound from an independent mic. I must admit, my Razer headset, which is the Razer Kraken 2 V2s, 7.1s, the mic is actually pretty good on them. I used them a lot during my time before I got an actual mic. And it seemed to have done me well, actually. Yes. Like I say, what we kind of seen and what, what are you going to get new at the moment? Like I say, if you're looking at a new computer without any kind of peripherals, as long as, just basically the tower with everything in, it's going to be about 650, 670 kind of area for a pretty decent rig that I could say you could easily stream from, to be fair and honest. So if you wanted to do that, could easily do that. I don't know what kind of pre-builts they got on here at the moment. AMD Ryzen. Let's have a look. There's all recommend any headset. I wouldn't particularly go for budget based. Yeah, I'm trying to do a little bit more budgety kind of stuff for people who don't, who want to start out, because headsets can always be replaced at some point. It's something to get them started and running. Yeah, like I say, pre-built here, we're looking around about 900 quid. But that's with an overclockable CPU, which is going to add more to the cost. It's run about the same kind of spec kind of thing. So, like I say, for the same kind of spec, we're looking at about 650 kind of area. So you could be saving a good amount if you're prepared to. So you can see here about 650, compared to 900. If you're willing to build it yourself, you could stand to save yourself a decent amount of change. Yes, they do offer, the pay monthly plans. But yeah, I'm trying to make sure people have something that, isn't going to be a daunting amount of money. I have the Arctis, I think. Let's have a look at this. Arctis 5. I think this is something like what you got. Probably in white. I did see them in black. Does that sound like what you got, sis? But in black, yeah. What's my ones at the moment? Audio. Headset. Do they have my one on here? I think the closest ones I have, because mine are about 2 years old now. These are probably as close as you're going to get to the ones I have myself. Which is, the mic is pretty good on them. I love my SteelSeries headset. I wouldn't have bought them unless they were on sale. Yes, good gaming headsets can find themselves in a bit of the pricier range. Yes, that's actually not bad. We was able to actually pretty much, so I'm saying about another 25, 20 quid for Windows. We're looking at about 900 quid for a complete and utter, setup near enough. Without webcam, like I say, that's something that can be added if people want that. Not everybody does cam on stream, so that's completely up to you. You don't have to. The only reason I haven't got mine on today is because mine is on a stand at the moment where it was looking over my computer while I was doing the CPU thermal paste and the GPU. So yeah, I can't do that at the moment. But yes, has anybody got any other questions while I am here with my how many years is it now? Whew. Yeah, it's got to be getting up to at least 25 odd years of experience. Oh, I feel old. I feel old. God damn it. I know there's some things I want to buy myself a new keyboard. Even though my keyboard's completely fine. I've seen some nice ones and I was like, oh. Bad me. Should not be looking. My rig is completely nutty fine and all my setup is fine. Other than my microphone, which I would like to upgrade at some point. But I did actually see something I was actually kind of tickled pink by. I'll just bring that up. Where was it? It was somewhere here. Ah, I cannot find it. God damn it. I knew I should have bookmarked it. Why do I not bookmark things? Oh, it's the same thing, not quite. Yes, that's something I saw, and I saw that actually tickled me pink. I was like, that is definitely something I would gladly wear. And welcome back, Nem. That is a sweater, even though I saw it in a shirt. It's actually the shirt I was looking at, but this is the sweatshirt. That's the same thing, pretty much. I would happily wear that without no issue because that's something that I've probably said a couple of times in my lifetime. Don't worry, the tech guy is here. Yeah, and a lot of times, sometimes it doesn't work because we're still having to send shit back because I can't figure out what the fuck's wrong with it. But yes. For $31.99, I'm not paying that. Nope. Not for a sweatshirt. I don't think I've got any questions. What's this? But I was never really an NES guy, Nem. Them's just shown me a thing for a NES shirt. It's a yeah, it's an NES cartridge. I'm not really NES guy. Hey, if it was a floppy disk, completely up my alley. Completely up my alley. But yeah, I wasn't much of a Nintendo kid until really the N64 era. Wait, is that what it said? I didn't see that. I just saw the NES cartridge. Oh yeah, blown. Ugh. That's something that just does not work. I see people blowing on cartridges, I saw that back in the day. It doesn't do anything. It's kind of like that kind of thing people always did, but it really didn't do anything. All you had to do was just re-slide back in, and 9 times out of 10, if you blew it or not, probably would work. All it did is you just got spit and into your cartridge, which is not exactly a pleasant thought. But yes, since we don't really have any kind of other tech questions, no one seems to want answering or talking about or anything like that. We are probably gonna go on a raid, as I'm probably gonna leave it here just for now. And what I'll probably do for next round, my computer's not all set up yet, Nem. It is still not all wired up, and my desk is a complete shambles at the moment because I've had to I've got to collaborate all together. So that's not exactly on the cards tonight. But yes, have we got anybody? Has anybody got any suggestions who we can go and let me just do this quick actually.